Hi and welcome to another how-to video from the team at Solar Gates. This one is going to walk you through the process for pairing up a system of INSTABOOM Go's ready for deployment on your site to do stop-go works. I've made a separate video that walks you through the options within the menu system, so if you want to familiarise yourself with any of these options, I've linked that video below. But once you're ready and you've got the system configured the way you want, let's get started with the pairing. Now, to begin the pairing process, we would recommend setting out all the devices that you intend to use together in a setup deployed on the bench before you leave for site. The pairing process can be undertaken actually while they're charging. The slider on the outside of the case is a great way to keep track of which device has been paired to which button on the remote. I would suggest setting the master to number 1 with each slave following thereafter. The remote is paired at the very end of the pairing process. Start on the master device and follow the instructions on the screen. You'll need to put the slave devices into pairing mode when you're prompted and then press select on each device at the appropriate time. And you'll say it takes about 110 seconds to pair each slave to the master, and they're done in sequence. Please be aware that this is a lengthy process, so maybe bring a cup of coffee with you. So with the INSTABOOM Go devices ready on the bench, let's get started with the pairing process. Turn the devices on and they're going to go through their boot up sequence and they'll let you know when they're ready to start pairing. We're going to press select on the correct screen when it shows, right here. And this just walks us through the settings, which we've done in a separate video, just to be certain that we've got the settings correct before we start pairing. Now with this screen displayed, push and hold the select or OK button for 3 seconds and you'll enter the pairing mode. This device is the master device and the device to the right of me here is the slave device. You'll see that it's advising to put all slave devices into the pairing mode. So I'll just follow that on this device here. With the slave device now in pairing mode as well, we're ready to start. The first part of the process erases all pre-existing pairings in the system. The master device will control the slave device for the duration of the pairing process. It's now advising us to press select to move on to the next stage. The next stage, it will synchronize with the first slave device. Now in this system, I've only got the 2. If you're pairing up a 4-way system, then obviously this pairing process is going to take slightly longer. It now wants me to push select on the slave. There we go. And that's just to confirm that a 2-way communication has been established between the devices. The next step is quite lengthy as the control boards in both of the devices are put into the correct mode to facilitate the pairing. If you want to pause the video at this point and wait for your device to catch up, we'll be able to move on to the next stage. Once all the slaves have been paired to the master, the next step is to pair your remote. Now here's a top tip. This is the only chance you get to pair up your remote, so I would definitely suggest you pair 2 now. If you want to pair another remote later, you will have to go through the whole pairing process again, which you probably want to avoid if you can. Follow the instructions on the screen and press each remote button when instructed. You'll have to wait while the radio cards are prepared, and then you just click each button twice. This is just a button press. There's no need to hold it down any longer. Right, with the pairing complete, we can now move on to pairing the remote. Just push and hold the select or OK button for 3 seconds and it'll start to put those radio cards into the modes they need to be in to pair the remote. You'll need to wait and then press each button twice when instructed to do so. Oh, another tip. Once the system is paired, you can change the operating mode without disturbing the pairing. And what that means is that if you set up a four-way system for one button operation mode, and you decide you want to operate in two button mode, you can simply change the mode on the master, but you don't have to repair the whole system. Once all the remote buttons have been paired, the screen tells you to reboot the devices. You can then follow the instructions in our deployment and use guides, which are also linked here, to get the system up and running on your site. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. There are a number of other videos right here on YouTube which take you through some aspects of INSTABOOM Go and additional resource on our other products. But as always, please do get in touch. The team here will look forward to helping you.